Well, in less than an hour now, quadruple murder suspect Bryan Kohberger will go before a judge. He's expected to plead guilty for the brutal killings of 4 University of Idaho students. The father of one of those victims, Steve Goncalves, just spoke to reporters outside the courthouse.
What do you want to happen? Why do you want this to go to trial?
Because then my peers of this community will decide that he's guilty. And we could take it out of frickin' Thompson's hands. One man shouldn't decide what 4 souls are worth.
Jonathan Hunt is outside the courthouse in Boise. Jonathan.
Harris, and the conversations with Steve Goncalves have been very interesting over the last 48 hours, of course. And one of our crews, led by Chanley Painter, my colleague, caught up with Steve just before he walked across to the court there. And he told her that in his view, the prosecutor, quote, has done a deal with the devil, clearly meaning there that he considers Bryan Kohberger the devil. Bryan Kohberger, of course, we believe in just about 30 minutes will enter the courtroom behind me here and will plead guilty to those 4 felony counts of murder. The Goncalves family is just one family, of course. We have to point out that we've also seen the Chapin family going in today, the family of Ethan Chapin, the young man who was murdered. The Chapin family say they have agreed to and support the plea deal. The Mogan family, the family of Madison Mogan, also killed in that house in Moscow, Idaho, back in November 22, also say they support the deal. But the Goncalves family have been outspoken throughout this in being critical of the way the entire prosecution has been run over the past 2.5 years, and they are clearly angry. I can tell you this, that Steve Goncalves escorted members of his family up to the courthouse door, and then he himself turned around, walked back here past our cameras. He is refusing to even go inside the courthouse as a form of protest against this deal. So that is one voice. There are others who support this deal. It is obviously a very emotional day indeed for the families of all of those victims. And what a lot of them, I think, would have liked to hear as part of this plea deal, even if they were going to support it, was Kohberger being forced to explain why he did what he did, why he chose their children as victims. As we understand it from the reporting of Fox Digital, he is not going to be required to offer that explanation as part of this plea deal. What the families might get, Harris, in about a month's time, if indeed Kohberger does go through with this change of plea in about 30 minutes' time, there will be a sentencing hearing towards the end of this month, we understand. And there, the victims' families will be able to make victim impact statements. Then they'll get the chance to look Kohberger in the eye and say, this is what you took from us. Harris?
Yeah, they deserve that. They definitely do. Jonathan Hunt, thank you. And you know what? They deserve more. We talked about it already. But before we move on, we've spent so much time talking about what's happening with Bryan Kohberger. Let's just take a moment to remember the victims. Ethan Chapin, there he is. And Emily, jump in at any point, because we've spent a lot of time on the crime, but not the victims.
Ethan was a triplet. I can't imagine the sense of loss of his 2 siblings there that were triplets. He was just 20. He wanted to get into sports management. All 4 of these victims were close friends. They lived in a live-out house together, or 3 of them did, and 1 was visiting. And we all had those joyful communities in college. You know, your friends, you consider each other your siblings too, but the loss of life is generational, and the generational impact, the devastation, cannot be overstated.
Madison Mogan. I mean, you think about where they were in their lives, as you were just saying.
She was a senior, her whole life ahead of her. And this was on the heels of, remember, University of Idaho's largest freshman incoming class. It was like such an exciting, ebullient time there in Moscow, Idaho, and such a beautiful time for them to have the cusp of their future taken away from them.
Well, and it almost seems like Kaylee Goncalves' family is the big voice of everybody right now. Her father, we just showed you a moment ago. That is who they are. They wanted their day in court.
That's right. And now, will they ever get it? No. And I loved the point made of why can one man sort of cement what 4 souls are worth. it's priceless, and to be ripped away from the sense that these are our community and our peers. You know, she wanted to move to Texas. She had these big plans too. All of this life just absolutely stamped out by one demon.
And we know that Xana Kernodle is the fourth victim that we remember on this day. And, you know, they each had a different lane that they were going to follow. Dreams are, but we were putting a fine point on. We don't know where they would have ended up as fabulous young adults because their lives were cut short.
Right, the world was her oyster. She was a junior. She had her whole senior year ahead of her. She was majoring in marketing. I mean, that the sky is limitless for them. And to think about what is a normal night at college, you know, you go to a party and then you go get hot dogs and then you come back to the house, and to all of a sudden learn, to have those families learn that that was the very last night because of the whim of a monster who had been stalking and laying in wait for them. And then all of a sudden to have that monster indeed make a deal with the state, who is supposed to represent our interests. They represent the people of Idaho. What do the people of Idaho have to say?
Oh, I think we're going to hear.
And Xana, you know, just to double tap that, Xana came from tough background, man. She was a little striver, and she was really starting to make, she was coming into her own as an adult. That's really a heartbreaking story if you read into it. She was kind of on her own. She'd found a boyfriend, and she was progressing in life, and boom, cut short. It's just, they're all sad. That story is really, really touching.
Xana was the one who was wearing the graduation cap, and it said, "For the lives that I will change." And she never got that opportunity. I'm sure she changed a lot of lives in the life that she did live. And then Ethan, one of the triplet, his brother ran over there and said, "He's not here, Mom." And she said, "We'll go back and get him and find him." She didn't understand what he meant. He meant literally not, you know, no longer on this earth. And he said, "No, Mom, you don't understand." Ethan and Xana, I think he said, the mom said, are not on this earth anymore.
They're gone from us.
And the devastation is the fact that, and what we're seeing with the families is the fact that, you know, they already felt that the children were taking away from them. And now here he is again, by choosing to take the plea deal. He is still in control of his own fate at this point. And that is, again, another source of grief for these families.
God bless those families. We'll keep them in our prayers. We say that, we mean that.